Hello, Code Pilots. Welcome to a brand new series by Code Pilot. Let's conquer LeetCode together, starting with problem number 1. If you've ever wanted to level up your coding skills, crack coding interviews, or just have fun solving puzzles, you're in the right place. Today, we're tackling the two-sum problem, and we're coding it live in VS Code with C++. This is your chance to learn algorithms step by step and become a coding rock star. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell. We've got a lot more problems to solve. Let's dive in and crack this first challenge together. All right, let's check out the two-sum problem. I'll show you the question on screen. Here it is. The task is simple but fun. You're given an array of numbers, like 2, 7, 11, 15, and a target sum, like 9. Your job is to find two numbers in the array that add up to the target. In this case, 2 plus 7 equals 9, and return their indices, which would be 0, 1. The catch? Each number can only be used once, and there's always exactly one solution. Let me break it down. We need to loop through the array, check pairs of numbers, and find the ones that match the target. Sounds like a perfect job for a nested loop or maybe a smarter trick. I'll give you a moment to think about it. How would you solve this? Once it's clear, we'll jump into VS Code and code it up. Let's get ready to code. Let's solve this in VS Code with C++. I'm opening a new file. Let's call it twosum.cpp and saving it. First, we need a function to solve this. I'll type vector int twosum vector int and nums int target. This takes a vector of integers and the target and returns a vector of two indices. Since C++ needs the vector library, I'll add include vector at the top and include iostream for printing later. To avoid any namespace issues, I'll also add using namespace dd. This lets us use vector and cout directly. Now, let's use a nested loop to check all pairs. I'll type, for int I equals 0, I less than nums.size, I++. For int j equals I plus 1, j equals nums.size, if nums I plus nums j equals target, return ij. Let's break it down. The outer loop, I, goes through each number, and the inner loop, j, checks the next numbers. If their sum equals the target, we return their indices. The return, ij, creates a vector with those indices. But what if we don't find a solution? Let's add a default return at the end. Let's test it. I'll add a main function, int main, vector int nums is 2, 7, 11, 15. Int target is 9. Vector int result is twosum nums target. For int I int result, cout I, return 0. I'll compile and run it with G++ and it prints 0, 1. Perfect. Let's try another example. I'll change nums to 3, 2, 4 and target to 6. Running it again, it prints 1, 2 because 2 plus 4 equals 6. Nice. Let's wrap up what we did. This solution uses a brute force approach, checking every pair of numbers with nested loops, which gives us a time complexity of O(n)². It's simple and works well for small arrays, but for larger ones, you might want to use a hash map to get O(n) time. That's something to explore later. The key takeaway here is understanding how to use loops, vectors, and conditionals in C++ to solve real problems. You can tweak this code, try different arrays, or even add error checks if you want to take it further. This is your first LeetCode win, Code Pilots. You're ready to tackle more challenges with this approach. That's it for twosum Code Pilots. You've solved your first LeetCode problem with C++ and learned the power of loops and vectors. If you loved this, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on the bell for more LeetCode problems. We're starting from problem 1 and going all the way. Next time, we'll tackle problem 2. Share this with your coding friends. and let's build this community together. You're a coding champ now. Keep practicing, and I'll see you in the next problem.